This late spring, early summer season has been my favorite. There have been 14 consecutive rainy Saturdays, which is lovely for all the plants yearning to escape their 6-month slumber. I've been enjoying my morning walks along the water, especially on these rainy days, when the world is far more quiet. But at the same time, listening closely, there is so much life. I've noticed that days like this inspire the most paintings for me, and little walks turn into full morning adventures because I get lost taking it all in. No matter how often I walk the same paths, I make new discoveries and feel like I'm seeing it all for the first time. I think that's the importance for me of embracing every change in the seasons, the weather, or in my life. No matter how small the change is, it makes each moment after entirely new. I'm always going to be someone who cares so deeply about flowers sprouting again and matching my home to the seasons, because it gives me something to always be looking forward to. And it leaves me in constant awe of everything around me. We have had rain nonstop for weeks, and we finally have this gorgeous sunny day, and now everything's green because everything has loved the rain, and it just feels so warm and beautiful. And I didn't realize how much I was being affected by the weather until now. I just feel so rejuvenated and amazing. I haven't made time to go to the woods lately, so the little park right next to my apartment and right next to the road will have to do. But that's okay, it's still beautiful here. I'm sitting in a little patch of clovers, and I guess while I'm sitting here I might as well try and look for a little 4-leaf clover. I feel like so much has happened in the last couple months, and I've been feeling so many emotions, but there have been a lot of amazing things that have happened as well. I finally got my engagement ring. Mike and I were in the process of making this ring together, and then he surprised me in December by proposing without a ring, which was amazing and wonderful. And he proposed with a handmade, hand-blown piece of glass, and it was so personal and special to us and our story. And I love it so much, and I had no idea it was happening because we were in the middle of making this ring together with this incredible artist in Norway. And so 6 months later, it's here, and it's just so perfect for me and for us. And I didn't ever really think I wanted an engagement ring. I mean, I love rings, but I don't know. I was always indifferent, but having something that I can put on every day and just remind myself of our love and our connection is just really beautiful and special. And that has been something that has been absolutely wonderful. We just went to the post office together sometime in April, I think, and picked it up, and we're crying in the car. It was just wonderful and amazing. Every part of this process has been so us, and we've done everything together, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful to celebrate the warmer seasons and start the warmer seasons with this little token of our unity and our love. Is just really sweet. I don't know. I feel more ready to come back to an online space. I'm feeling inspired and more secure within myself and with my life. And I don't know, I just feel ready to be proud of where I am and who I am, no matter what part of my healing and growing process I am in, and just meeting myself where I'm at. And yeah, that's that's it. So I'm at this little park today, just celebrating everything, nothing, all at once. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I really have no point. Okay, so I feel like it's very obvious that I love to read. I absolutely love stories. I love hearing how other people tell stories and just what goes on in their head. I think it's beautiful and amazing. And I am definitely a huge seasonal reader. And this is one of my favorite seasons to read books. And I actually work part-time at a cozy little bookstore right now. It has been the greatest time of my life. It is so much fun. I get to meet such amazing people, and I get access to books that I'd like to own. Obviously, always supporting local libraries as well. They're absolutely incredible. As a seasonal reader, I find late spring, early summer to be one of the best times. I feel like it's a time of reading light, happy, vibrant, adventure style books. And I always just think if it's a book that I can picture reading outside, then I feel like it's perfect for this time of year. So I wanted to go through what I'm hoping to read this time of year and just chat a little bit about that, because I love chatting about books. So I feel like we're going to start with some obvious ones. Howl's Moving Castle. I absolutely adore this movie. I feel like most people do. And I actually started reading this book a couple years ago, and it is slightly different from the movie, so I did find that really interesting. And I always picture that beautiful flower field from the movie, and that's why I think this is perfect for this time of year. And I actually never finished it. I got about halfway and then didn't finish. So this year I hope to finish this book, and I'm very curious to see how it differs from the movie. I know that there's a little bit more at least, of Sophie's backstory that you get to read about, at least in the beginning. So I'd be curious to read this, finish it all the way through, and then watch the movie again, of course, because it's just amazing. Another obvious one, I have started my journey of rereading the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and obviously I'm going to start with The Hobbit first, and it just felt like a perfect time to start the Middle-earth Tolkien journey again this time of year. And I don't know, I really don't have anything else to say about The Hobbit. It's just a wonderful masterpiece and I love it so much. So I have talked about The River Has Roots already. It is absolutely incredible. I had mentioned that I was listening to it and the audio is so wonderfully immersive and there's sound effects and singing and it was absolutely beautiful. But I did immediately pick up a physical copy of this book because the grammar magic is all about wordplay and riddles, and it just seemed like something I wanted to see for myself in person and really get a chance to dive deeper and underline things and just look into the story a little bit more. And it does really read like a fairy tale folklore, and it's something that I can see myself going back to over and over again. It is a folklore style story about two sisters and fairies, and that's kind of all I want to say about it, just because I think the story tells itself, so I don't need to explain it. But yeah, sisterhood, fairies, falling in love, riddles, and just magical whimsy. Move Like the Water by Hannah Stowe. I don't know anything about this book. This came in as a damage from the bookstore, so I snagged it. It's basically a memoir about a marine biologist, and it talks about the relationship between humans and wild waters, and I have a deep fear of especially deep, open ocean and water, and I feel like I don't know, I just feel like water and marine life is something that I don't understand because I tend to stay away from that subject, and I would like to because I think that marine life is beautiful and there's so much to be learned from the sea. So I thought this could be a nice way to enter into that, and this time of year just feels very attuned to water to me. So this felt just like a sweet little read. I don't read a lot of memoirs, so this one piqued my interest, so I figured I would give it a try. And I really liked like a watercolor cover. Honestly, that's what sold me. I am very big on beautiful covers, so we'll see. Dandelion medicine. Dandelions are one of my favorite plants. They are incredibly medicinal, and each and every part of the plant does something incredible for us and our bodies, and I love the size of this book. It's great to just carry around. It has incredible recipes and information, and dandelions are so abundant this time of year, so this is just one that I like to have on hand. As the weather gets warmer, I find myself wanting to spend more time outside, and sometimes I'll find a trail somewhere and go in the woods and not necessarily have a purpose, but I just want to be there. And this book, 100 Things to Do in a Forest, is just a really great reference guide to think about all of the different ways we can experience nature and all of the different things that we can do in nature and how we can show up and have a symbiotic relationship with nature. And I just think it's really beautiful. And it's just little pages of little ideas of what to do in a forest. It's very simple, but I just think it's a really great reference guide to have. Like digging in the dirt. It's something that seems so obvious, but it would not be my first choice, I feel like, for things to do in a forest. So sometimes it's nice to have a little reminder like this just to show you what our options are, because they are endless, but here's 100 to start. There are two nonfiction nature books that I grabbed in particular, more attuned to the science part of nature. The first one is Forest Euphoria, The Abounding Queerness of Nature. I have heard such amazing things about this book. I picked it up as soon as it came out because I know that it's one I'm going to read and annotate and reread and reference. One of the blurbs on the back says, If the first lesson in how to love nature is learning to see yourself in it and to see it in you, then Forest Euphoria is a masterclass in how to love the world. And I absolutely love that. The author spent her time growing up in the Hudson Valley and living in the Hudson Valley for 4 years during my college experience. It holds such a special place in my heart, and I would love to learn more about the queerness of nature, and I'm really, really excited to learn more, and I do think that this will change how I view the world, and I'm just really excited for that. This book, Good Nature, is one that I have been reading. I pick it up constantly. I have so many annotations and underlines in here. It is essentially just talking about how scientifically and research-based how nature does actually make us feel good. And it's just such a validating read to hear that the ways in which nature makes us feel good are actually scientifically proven. And I just love to reference this and see all of the ways that nature is healing us without us even knowing. And this convinces me and inspires me to go outside all the time, even more than I do. And I feel like during this time of year, when we get that energy back and we want to be outside again, this is a really great reference to have. I think this is an incredible book. For me, I really love adventures this time of year, specifically voyages and seafaring, and pirates just feel so in tune with the warmer seasons. And one of the books that I wanted to read last year, I didn't get a chance to, is The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, and she's the most fearsome pirate of the Indian Ocean, and she gets a chance at one last adventure, and that's kind of all I know about it. And I've heard it's very fun and very amazing, and that's what I'm looking for. It's a fantasy novel, and it just feels like exactly what I want to feel right now. And on a similar vein, I have The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. It takes place on the Amalfi Coast, and that is obviously very late spring, early summer feeling. I know that there's witchcraft and lost treasure, and honestly, that's all I need to know. A couple years ago, I read The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner around this time of year, and it did feel like it perfectly fit. So I'm very excited about this one. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and I think I'm gonna like it. Another voyage seafaring type book that I have read this season is The Voice of the Ocean by Kelsey and K, and that is a YA Little Mermaid retelling, also involving pirates, and I just love that light coastal energy for this time of year. It just feels really fun and fresh, so clearly that's a theme, and I think it matches the season perfectly. So that's what I'll be up to this season. Hopefully being able to lay on a little picnic blanket outside under a tree and get to go on some fun adventures through reading, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm glad that I got to chat a little bit about books, because I think that they're so wonderful and magical, and I truly cannot get enough of them.